Good morning. I am K.Kavitha, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, A.D.M. College for Women, Nagapattinam. Now we see the software engineering. Introduction. Software is more than just a program code. Software engineering, a program is an executable code which serves some computational purpose. Software is the collection of computer programs, procedures, rules and association documents and data. It is an information transfer, producing, managing, modifying, displaying or transforming information that can simple as a single bit or a complex as a multimedia application. What are the software products in software engineering? They may be developed for a particular customer or may be developed for a general market. What are they? Generic or bespoke. What are the attributes of good software? Maintainability, dependability, efficiency and usability. What is the difference between software engineering and computer science? Software engineering. It is concerned with practicals of developing and delivering useful software. That is, it deals with practical problems in complex software products. Computer science. It is concerned with theory or fundamentals. That means algorithm, data structure, complexity, numeric methods. Computer science, which are currently insufficient to act as a complete underpinning for software engineering, but it is a foundation for practical aspects of software engineering. Software engineering paradigms. What are the characteristics in software engineering? Software is developed or engineered. It is not manufactured in the classical sense. Software does not wear out. It is the industry is moving towards component-based assembly. Most software continue to be custom to build. This is the software engineering timeline. What are the applications in software engineering? System software, real-time software, business software, engineering and scientific software, embedded software, personal computer software, web-based software, and last one is artificial intelligence software. Software engineering layer technology. What are the tools and layers used in software engineering? Tools, methods, process and quality focus. Application of a systematic, disciplined, quantifiable approach to the development, operation and maintenance of software, which is the application of engineering software. What are the 5 generic process framework activities? The following generic process framework is applicable to the majority of software products: communication, planning, modeling, construction and deployment. First one, process model. Every software engineering organizing the unique set of framework activities for the software process it adapts. What are they? Waterfall life cycle model, iterative waterfall life cycle, prototyping model, incremental model, spiral, RAD model and win-win spiral model. Waterfall life cycle model. It is nothing but is called classic life cycle or linear model, which requires a well-defined and stable. It just suggests a systematic sequential approach to software development. It begins with customer specification of requirements and progresses. What are the planning, modeling, construction and deployment? This is the architecture of waterfall model. Communication, planning, modeling, construction and deployment. What are the advantages? Easy to understand. Each phase has well-defined input and output. Help products manager in proper planning of project. Provides a template into which methods of analysis, design, code and support can be placed. Disadvantages. It is a one-way street. It lacks overlapping and interactions among phases. Model does not support delivery of system in piece. Phases of waterfall model: feasibility study, requirements analysis and specification, design, coding and unit testing, integration, system testing and maintenance. First one, feasibility study. It involves analysis of the problem and collection of all irrelevant information relating to the product. The collects data or analyzed requirements of the customer, formulation of the different strategies for solving the problem, evaluation of different solution strategies. Requirement analysis and specification. It is understand the exact requirements of the customer and do document them properly. Requirement gathering and analysis, requirement specification. Second, design. Design is nothing but to transform the requirement specified in the document into a structure that is suitable for implementation in some programming language. Traditional design approach, object-oriented design approach. Coding and unit testing. The purpose of the coding and unit testing is software development is to translate the software design into source code. Integration and system testing. Integration of different modules is coded and unit tested. Alpha testing, beta testing and acceptance testing. First one, maintenance. Maintenance means it is a typical software products require much more than the effort necessary to develop the product itself. Iterative waterfall life cycle model. The main changes is done by providing feedback path from every phase to its preceding phase. What are the feasibility study, requirement analysis and specification, design, code and unit testing, integration, system testing and maintenance. Prototype model. Prototype model is a software development model which prototype is built, tested and reworked until an acceptable prototype is achieved. This is the prototype structure, prototype model. Communication, guide points, modeling, communication of packages and deployment. What are the advantages? Clarity, risk identification, good environment, take less time to complete. Disadvantages, high cost, slow processes, too many changes. RAD model. RAD means rapid application development, which is an incremental software model that a short development cycle. This model is a high speed of the waterfall model. It is the best one. RAD process enable a development team to create a fully functional system in a very short time period. Flowchart of RAD model. Communication and planning. Team 1 up to Team N. Modeling, construction and deployment. Modeling means business data and processing modeling. Construction components reuse the code generating testing. Last one is implementing. What is the delivery and feedback from the customers. Contents of RAD packages. Graphical user development environment, reusable components, code generator, programming language. Advantages of RAD. Fast products, efficient documentation, interaction with user. Disadvantage. User may not like fast activities. Not suitable for technical risk. Spiral model. It is a combination of iterative development process model and it is a sequential linear development model. That is, the waterfall model is a very high emphasis on risk analysis. There are 4 phases in spiral model: planning, design, construct and evaluation. Quadrants in spiral model: objectives, identify, develop and review and phase for the customer. Advantages: risk identification at early stage, suitable for high RK projects, flexibility for adding functionality. What are the disadvantages? Costly, risk dependent, not suitable for smaller projects, difficult to meeting budget. Win-win spiral model. The customer win by getting the system satisfying most of the requirements and developers win by working on achievable budget and deadlines. Advantages: lightweight method suit small medium size project, produces good team, test based approach to requirements and quality assurance. Disadvantages: programming pass is costly, difficult to scale up to large products where the documentation. Structure of the win-win spiral model: identify next level stakeholders, identify stakeholders with condition, reconcile win condition, establish next level, that means objective, constraints and alternatives, evaluate product and process alternatives, resolve the risk, define next level of product and process including partitions, valid product and process definition, last review and commitment from the customers. Software engineering, software testing. Why is software testing important? Software testing is an incredible step for an engineering team to complete. No matter what software or product your team creates, bugs, errors and glitches will occur. But those errors become less of a headache when they are identified and solved early. That is well before the software product delivery. When an engineering team takes the time to test software, it ensures reliability, high performance, security, saving time and money and ensuring the customer is happy too. Different types of software testing. Typically, software testing can be broken into three categories: functional, non-functional. First one, functional testing. A type of software testing that validates the software against a list of requirements or specifications. This test aims to assess each application function and mainly involve black box testing. It analyzes deals like user interface, database, security, application programming interface, that is API, and client server communication. Non-functional testing, sometimes called performance testing. This method focuses on testing an application for its non-functional elements and requirements. Non-functional elements encompass things like performance, reliability and usability. An example of a test would be checking how many users can be logged into a tool simultaneously without the tool lagging. Third one testing is maintenance testing, a method of software testing that aims to uncover software errors or bugs within a program after changes have been made. It retests the program to ensure that after the changes are complete, the changes do not negatively impact the features within the code or conflict with necessary requirements. What are the different levels of software testing? When it comes to the different levels of software testing, there are 4 that take place. Each level check for something different and each of them must be conducted thoroughly. Nothing should be rushed or skipped. What are the unit testing, integration testing, system testing and acceptance testing? First one, unit testing. Unit testing is nothing but software testing process for testing specific unit, component or software elements. This is the most basic type of testing and the goal for this level of testing is to validate that each unit of code performance how it should and is free for bugs, errors and glitches. Typically, this level is done during the development or coding phase by software developers who isolate a section of code and verify that is correct. It's considered a white box testing method, means the code can be viewed but usually not altered and should always take place early in development to save money, time, effort in the long run. Next testing is integration testing. It is a different software components, modules are combined and tested a group to make sure everything is ready for the next level. A standard software project will likely consist of various modules coded by multiple programmers. The goal is to test to expose potential defects or bugs between the various modules. This phase is referred to as I and T, that means integration and testing, thread testing or string testing. This method focuses on checking the data flow from one module to the next, which is performed by the tester. It's another crucial level of testing because it verifies everything in working as a one singular unit. System testing. The next level of software testing is the system testing. This checks for a system compliance in accordance with the necessary given requirements. Systems testing inspects components like performance, load, reliability and security with the goal of evaluating the end-to-end system specification. Typically, this method is done by professional testing agent on the completed software product before it can be introduced to the market with real users. This is important because the product is so close to the complete, so it should be tested in an environment similar to what the user will experience once it's finished. Acceptance testing. Last one, acceptance testing. Finally, there are acceptance testing. What makes this level different from the rest is that is conducted by the user or customer, since the goal is to find out its requirements have been met on delivery of the final product. It is the final phase. It needs to validate the end-to-end business flow and check for the things like cosmetic errors, spelling mistakes and usability. The test sequence. These 4 types of testing need to be done with care, should be methodical and deliberate. This test need to be completed in order as this sequence will help to reduce the number of bugs or errors that pop up before the final product is launched. Every software engineering team knows how important testing can be throughout every phase of the development cycle. Skipping or rushing a level can cause a project to be past due and over budget. By going through each level, starting with the simpler components and moving towards more complex elements, testers and engineers can feel confident that the software is being thoroughly and properly examined in an efficient manner. Hopefully, doing so will also result in a more satisfied customer or client. Software process. Process and project. What is meant by process? Process is the sequence of steps executed to achieve a goal. A process is defined by cycles, which is similar to a middle project. A process also has a beginning, middle and end. This cycle repeats itself over an average period of time. Project. Project means it is defined by a fixed time, scope and resources. When implementing a project, the goal is to execute change, usually drastic, and to incorporate that change into the day-to-day process of the company. Both projects and process are important for running and improving a business. What are software processes? The processes that deal with the technical and management issues of software development are collectively called the software process. As a software project, we will have to engineer a solution and properly manage the project. There are clearly 2 major components in a software process. First one, a development process, and second one, a project management process. What is meant by development process? Development process specifies all the engineering activities that need to be performed, whereas the management process specifies how to plan and control these activities so that the cost, schedule, quality and other objectives are met. Effective development and project management processes are the key to achieving the objects of the delivering the desired software, satisfying the user needs while ensuring high productivity and quality. These component processes are different not only in the type of activities but performed in people who perform the activities specified by the process. In a typical project, development activities are performed by the programmer, designer and testers, etc. The project manager process activities are performed by the project management. Configuration control process activities are performed by a group generally called the configuration controller. The process management process activities are performed by the software engineering processes group, that means SEPG. This is the software process diagram. Software process divided into two types: product engineering process and process management process. Product engineering process divided into three: development process, project management process, software configuration management process. Software development process models. What is meant by SDLC? SDLC means software development process life cycle. It is a process followed for a software project within a software organization. It consists of a detailed plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace and alter or enhance specific software. The life cycle defines the methodology for improving the product of software and the overall development process. This is the SDLC architect: planning, defining, designing, building, testing and deployment. A typical software development life cycle consists of the following stages. First one, stage 1, planning and requirement analysis. Requirement analysis is the most important and fundamental stage in SDLC. It is performed by senior members of the team with input from the customer, the sales department, market surveys and domain expert in the industry. The information is there used to plan the basic project approach and to conduct product feasibility study in the economical, operational and technical areas. Planning for the quality assurance requirements and identification of the risk associated with the project is also done in the planning stage. The outcome of the technical feasibility study is to define the various technical approaches that can be followed to implement the project successfully with the minimum risk. Stage 2, that is defining requirements. Once the requirement analysis is done by, the next step is to clearly define and document the product requirements and get them approved from the customer and market analysis. This is done by SRC. SRC means Software Requirement Specification, which consists of all the product requirements to be designed and developed during the project life cycle. Stage 3, designing the product architecture. SRS is reference to product architects to come out with the best architect for the product to be developed, which is based on the specified in SRC. Usually more than one design approach for the product architect is proposed and documented in a DDS. DDS means Design Document Specification. This is reviewed by all the important stakeholders and based on various parameters as risk assessment, product robustness, design modularity, budget and time constraints. The best design approach is selected for the product. Stage 4, it is a building or developing the product. In this stage of SDLC, the actual development start the product is built. The programming code is generated as per DDS during this stage. If the design is performed in a detailed and organized manner, code generation can be accomplished without much hassle. Developers must follow the coding guidelines defined by the organization and programming tools like compiler, interpreter, debuggers, etc., which are used to generate the code. Different high-level programming languages such as C, C++, Pascal, Java and PHP are used for in the coding. The programming language is chosen with respect to the type of the software being developed. Stage 5. This is just testing the product. It is usually a subset of the all stages as in the modern SDLC models. The testing activities are mostly involved in all the stages of SDLC. This stage refers to the testing only stage of the product where product defects are reported, traced, fixed and retested until the product reaches the quality standard defined in the SRC. The last one is deployment in the market and maintenance. Once the product is tested and ready to be deployed, it is released formally in the appropriate market. Sometimes product deployment happens in stages as per the business strategy of that organization. The product may first be released in a limit segment and tested in the real business environment, that is UAT. UAT means user acceptance testing.